Welcome to Habitly Courses, a production of Manage to Win. Each course is divided into multiple lessons for easy viewing. All are now completely free, so you can watch them on your own or work through them as a team. Please subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, and share your favorite lessons with others. Try to find something that helps you be your best.
Hello, this is David Russell. I'm back. We are talking about experience bookends, and now we're going to move from the how, which was lesson 4, which I hope you took the exam and passed it. That is the behaviors, how you do things. These are the motivators, the values, the driving forces. This is why you do things. Now, what this slide shows you in summary form, you want to focus on how someone speaks, which was lesson 4, their behaviors, and that's pretty straightforward. You should be able to figure that out. This is a little trickier, but when you can figure out what motivates them, their driving force, that really helps you zero in on how best to serve them. So we all have 6 values or motivators. They are theoretical, utilitarian, aesthetic, social, individualistic, and traditional. That's down the center of the screen here. Now, the difference is we have them in varying intensities, so they can be quite different. What's also been discovered is that each one has 2 extremes. So for instance, with theoretical, and you can see to the left, there's a keyword there, knowledge, and that is because theoretical is people like to learn, but they like to learn in different ways. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Same thing with utilitarian. It's about utility or anyway, I'm going to dive into it in a moment, but there's these keywords. Aesthetic, the keyword is surroundings. Social, the keyword is others. Individualistic, the keyword is power. Traditional, the keyword is methodologies. But you can see there's on the left, there are driving forces. It used to be the low of each value or motivator, but they don't like us saying that anymore. And then on the right are what used to be called the highs, but they are now just different. And let's talk about that. So if we look at what used to be called a low theoretical, now it's simply referred to by its driving force, which is instinctive. This is someone who likes to learn, but their preference is more to rely on intuition and experience. Now, I've listed 4 other things about the way they like to learn there, but I boldfaced the one that is most intense, most common. So you can see that these people really, when they're learning, they like to build upon what they've had before, maybe work with a mentor, maybe learn by doing. Now, the opposite end of the theoretical is the intellectual. Now, they like to learn any way possible, be a lifelong student if they could afford to be. But they like to learn, gain knowledge and truth, like to research it, discuss different options, the whole thing. So they're not so keen on the intuition side. They want to learn new stuff all the time. Both people like to learn, the instinctive and the intellectual, but differently. Let's move on to utilitarian. So the driving force on one side is selfless. So this is someone who's a team player, and really they're motivated to achieve things to advance the team or for the greater good type of thing. And you can see some other bullet points there. They like to help the team, value others, do things because they should, and they think through before they act. The flip side of that on the utilitarian is the resourceful person. Now, this is someone who is very results-oriented. It might be that they just love results, or it might be they want to make money. Usually it's results, because even if they want to make money, they realize they have to make the results to make the money. They like higher ROI. They don't want to waste time or resources, work hard, work smart, solve problems. By the way, no problem's too big for them. They'll just go after it. So that's fine. On the aesthetic value or motivator, on the low end side is the objective person. This is a person who wants to focus on facts and logic in decisions. They're more into the functionality over the beauty or the artistic nature of something. They believe there's areas of absolute truth. I mean, there is a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. And they'll consider things in pieces, not as a whole. And as I say, focus more on the functionality instead of harmony, okay, as far as how well people are getting along. So you notice those 2 things. They're not really focused on artistic. They're not really focused on harmony. Well, the flip side of that on the aesthetic value or motivator is the harmonious person. They have two main qualifiers, and that is the artistic. Sometimes they're artists, oftentimes they're artists, quite frankly, or they can walk in a room and decorate it type of thing, or they just like nice stuff. And the second thing is they really like harmony with people that they work with. It's harmony over functionality. They like balance. They like beauty. And they are subjective thinkers, okay? The opposite of the other people who are thinking of functionality. For them, that's beautiful. Okay. Now, when we talk about social, it's not social butterfly. As a value, we're talking about people who are socials on one end of the spectrum. What used to be the low is called intentional. So these people focus on work, not a cause, and they help others to achieve specific goals, and they keep emotions from business decisions, and they develop others kind of for future gain that will impact them also. Now, the flip side of that is the altruistic, which is the high social in the old vernacular, okay? And basically, they want to make the world a better place, eliminate hate and conflict from the world. And they like to work for a cause. They want to sincerely help others. They want to respond to overlooked needs, let people be the best they can be, and they will sacrifice themselves to achieve the cause. This is the fourth motivator or value. Going to move on to the fifth now, individualistic. Now, the low end is the collaborative. So this is a person who wants to work in the background in a supporting role. They'll strive to achieve a greater good, like to support the team, and they like to work with people they know. So it's more, put me in the back, I don't want to be in the forefront. Well, then what's going to be the opposite of that? In individualistic. Well, the high individualistic is commanding. They want to be in control. They want to advance their career. They're comfortable in the limelight to get recognized. They're happy to champion a cause, whether it's a results-oriented cause or a social cause, form strategic alliances, but they get things done for their reasons, okay? And they like being in control and driving it. Typically, an owner has a reasonably strong commanding type of profile because they're going to drive things. Now, last but not least is the motivator of traditional. On the low end of that is the receptive person. So this person wants to identify better ways to do things. They kind of pursue idealistic creative expression, want to achieve their own plan, and they think there's many ways to do something right. And they may want to break the status quo or bend it, okay? But they like to consider options. In contrast to that, the high traditional, the structured person, likes to live traditions and systems that work, believes in a cause typically, may have strong spiritual beliefs, pursues ways to do it right. And they want to hold everyone to the same standards and keep it fair and consistent. But they're always searching for the better way to do things. So this is lesson 5. That was a lot I just threw at you. You may want to review it before you take the exam. But think about that. Is there something you know about yourself that would help you focus more on what motivates you? Did one of these really strike you? Oh, that must be me. If you want to know, we do have a talent assessment. We'll give you a free one per company, per subscribing company. And that's offered towards in the end, in the conclusion. But do learn what your most intense 1 or 2 motivations or driving forces are, and how you might apply that, and consider that with people you work with and clients you serve. When you're ready, take the exam, pass it, and then move on to the next lesson. That's all for now. Bye.